And welcome to Wander360. I am Avis Gray.
And I'm Aviana Ganadati.
And together we're going to share some stories of our adventures. Right now we're planning our trip to Alaska.
That's right. I am super excited about this, Avis.
Me too. I mean, I've been to Alaska, lived there for 3 years.
Well, I mean, I've been to Alaska too. I spent three days in Anchorage, and I had a pretty good time.
Well, I think that this trip is going to be unlike anything that I've really experienced. No, I can't say that. It's going to be quite a bit like I've experienced.
Okay, well, for me, I've never lived on an island, and I've spent most of my time in Two Rivers, and I guess, Wisconsin in itself is sort of it's an alcoholic island. Should I even say that?
I think that's fair. I mean, we've got it on t-shirts. Since 1845, we've been out drinking your state, something like that. That's news that everyone knows. Wisconsin outdrinks every other state. And we want to go to Alaska because what I've heard is that people don't drink alcohol in Alaska.
That's right. That alcohol is prohibited in Alaska completely. So we should be just fine there.
Aviana, okay, so question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
What is one of the things that you look forward to the most with this Alaskan trip?
Well, I'm looking forward to the cross-country trip. I lived in Montana there just for a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I actually have a couple good friends there still. And I know we're not going to be going by Whitefish. It's 6 hours north of where we're going to be passing by, but I love Montana. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
Me too. It's interesting the number of times that our paths have crossed, and then we finally met in Two Rivers.
I agree. I think it is pretty strange. You wonder how many times you actually cross paths with somebody, and you never know until they're crying at your restaurant because their wife left them.
Thanks, Aviana. That is very nice for you to bring that up. I appreciate that.
Well, it's true. That is how we met. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm glad she left you.
I'm glad that she did too. Okay, that is a conversation for another time. And
yes, of course. Okay, so anyway, one of the things that I look forward to in Alaska is, living on an island, and I want to find some Alaskan clay. That's my biggest thing. Of course, I am really big into sculpting. Not that I'm any good.
You're very good at sculpting. I mean, let's just face it.
Well,
as far as my sculpting ability versus yours.
Yes, you're probably right. I am years ahead of you. But you do some interesting things, with whatever those creatures are that you created. What do you call those, Avis?
I named them the monogara, which in Spanish means claw monkey. That's pretty much it.
You name these little creatures the claw monkeys?
Well, okay, they're about the size of a monkey, and their claws, and
you don't have to describe why. If you want to, go ahead. But okay, claw monkey. So what is it? The monogara.
Monogara, Aviana. And you know what? If you can come up with a better name than the monogara for these little guys, then go for it. But
I'm not saying that I can come up with a better name. I'm just saying it's rather generic.
You know what? Sometimes generic is the way to go. It doesn't always have to be a catchy title. It doesn't have to be like the chupacabra or something super interesting. It could just be the monogara. So yes, my little creatures that I create out of clay for the story I was working on are called the monogara.
I have to agree with you. They're interesting looking, and they've got like a cute monkey insect sort of vibe going on. So you nailed that for sure.
Well, if you're going to protect a hidden treasure in the San Juans, would you want anything less than the monogara? Really? Would you? Aviana, come on.
Okay, never mind me for questioning your monogara. I'll never question it again, I swear. Probably until like the road trip, and when we have nothing else to talk about, and I'll probably talk about it. Do they speak English? What kind of language do they speak?
You know what it sounds like to me? I think you actually want to hear more about the Monogara. And actually, it's Monogara. And I might be mispronouncing that in Spanish, and that's okay. Because the fact is, folks, I'm still learning Spanish, and I have every right to not know Spanish while I don't know Spanish. It's like people that don't know English that want to know English, but they don't know English.
Avis, are you even listening to yourself right now? Are you hearing your...
Yes, I was talking about talking about Spanish, and then I started thinking about Spanish songs. Anyway, back to the mystical story, which is one of the great reasons why Aviana and I get along so well, is because she writes mystical fiction and I write mystical fiction, and here we are.
That's right. We live in mystical fiction, everyone. That is our life.
That's our life, but also I'm going to teach you how to fish, Avi.
You're going to teach me how to fish? I grew up in the Midwest, and you think you're going to teach me how to fish?
Well, I'm offering that.
No, my point is, Avis, I know how to fish, and I'm pretty sure that, I know you're used to all these, girls that you used to know that can only apply a lipstick and all that sort of thing and do their makeup right. But I will outfish you, Avis. That is a promise.
Okay, these are big. We haven't even talked about this before. Now you think that you want to put $20 down on this?
I don't bet, but I can promise you that I will outfish you this year.
We'll hold you to that. Now we have that on record.
You will see. You will see. I will catch a bigger fish than you.
Can you name the fish species we're going to be going after?
The names of the fish species that are in Alaska doesn't matter. You got like halibut, salmon, and some other kind of like stonefish or something like that.
You mean rockfish?
Yeah, rockfish, exactly. And they're all going to be bigger than your fish. So that's just something that I want you to prepare for mentally before we actually arrive in Alaska.
Okay. Well, I am mentally prepared for that, Aviana. And let's see what else. Oh, we're going to be getting a boat, it's pretty much an inflatable raft that we're going to be taking out on the ocean. Sounds pretty dangerous, but it's not. And I say that because I have over 5,000 hours on the ocean. Professionally and on a personal basis. So that's combined.
That's one of the things that attracted me most to you, Avis, is that, you've been on the Bering Sea, and I think one of the coolest stories that I heard that you told me when we were in Two Rivers is the bioluminescence, when you seen that in the San Juans. I really hope that we see that on Prince of Wales Island.
I think that we will. July in the Pacific Ocean on that coast, there's a good chance that we'll see the Aurora Borealis plus the bioluminescence. And I missed that one time by 1 hour over Orcas Island and bioluminescence going on at the same time.
That's really one of the reasons why I have to go on this trip with you, is just for the Aurora Borealis and the bioluminescence. I figure once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah. Anyway, did you get your crayons in?
Did I? Did you just ask if I got my crayons in? Yes, I got my crayons in. How about your list? What do you got on your list there?
Well, for me, I've got my paints. My new clay came in. New gloves. You have to have gloves if you're going to Alaska. All my bathroom products, because we're in Alaska. Not that they don't have bathroom products. It's just that if you go to the store to try to buy them, you can have to take out a small loan. At least that's what you told me.
In a way, look, everything is more expensive in Alaska, and everyone knows that. And in fact, everything is more expensive when you live on an island, plain and simple.